Have you ever wondered why your brain seems to love routine, even when you hate it?
Totally. I mean, I always try to mix things up, but then I end up doing the same old stuff every day. What's going on there?
It's a bit of a paradox. On one hand, we crave variety and adventure, but our brains are wired for predictability and sameness.
Wired. Like our brain's wiring makes us stick to routines.
Exactly. Think about it evolutionarily. Back in the day, our ancestors needed to save energy. Figuring out every little thing from scratch was risky and exhausting.
So routines let the brain go on autopilot.
Yes, once something becomes a habit, it takes less mental effort. Your brain builds these neural pathways, like highways in your head, that make actions automatic.
Neural pathways. That sounds cool. So even boring routines feel good because they're effortless.
Right. And there's chemistry involved. When you stick to a routine, your brain releases dopamine, that feel-good chemical.
Dopamine. Like the reward stuff. So that's why I feel a little rush from my morning coffee ritual, even if it's the same every day.
Precisely. It's why breaking out of your comfort zone feels so hard. Your brain RESISDS change to protect you from uncertainty.
Resistance makes sense. Like I want to start running in the mornings, but my brain's like, nah, stick to the couch.
Your brain sees routine as safe. Change disrupts those neural pathways, and it takes energy to build new ones.
But isn't variety good for us? Why does the brain fight it?
Variety is good long-term, but short-term, routine reduces stress. Predictability lowers anxiety because you know what's coming.
Okay, so even when I hate my routine job, my brain's happy with the stability.
Yes, it's a survival thing. Routines create a sense of control in a chaotic world.
That explains why I get irritable when my schedule gets messed up. Like last week, my train was late every day.
Disruption throws off the dopamine flow. Your brain craves that steady hit from familiar patterns.
Craves is a good word. Routines are kind of addictive, huh?
They can be. But the paradox is, too much routine leads to boredom, which makes us hate it consciously.
So how do we balance it? Brain loves routine, but we need some spice.
Small changes. Introduce tiny new habits gradually so your neural pathways adapt without too much resistance.
Like swap my coffee for tea once a week.
Perfect. That nudges you out of the comfort zone without overwhelming your brain's wiring.
Makes sense. I always thought routines were just lazy, but it's biology.
Not lazy, efficient. Your brain's designed to prioritize energy conservation over excitement.
Wild. So next time I skip the gym because it's too much effort, it's my neural pathways talking.
Listen to them a little, but challenge gently. That's the sweet spot.
Got it. This stuff is eye-opening.
Hey, we covered some great words in that chat. Let's break down 7 key ones to really get them stuck in your head.
Yeah, like routine and that paradox idea. Perfect timing, let's dive in.
First up, routine. This is a sequence of actions or behaviors that you do regularly, often without thinking. It's the daily pattern your brain clings to for efficiency and comfort, even if it feels monotonous. Routines help conserve mental energy by making decisions automatic, reducing the cognitive load from constant choices.
For example, you can say, my morning routine includes coffee, exercise, and checking emails. You might use it when describing your work day, like, sticking to a study routine helped me pass the exam. Another way is breaking my evening routine threw me off all week.
Next, paradox. A paradox is a situation or statement that seems contradictory or absurd at first, but might reveal a deeper truth. In our talk, it's how your brain loves routine while you consciously resist it, opposites that actually make sense together when you dig into the science.
You can hear people use it like, it's a paradox, exercise is tiring but makes you feel energized. Or the paradox of choice is that more options often lead to less happiness. For instance, saving money feels restrictive, yet it's a paradox that leads to more freedom later.
Third, wiring. Wiring refers to the way the brain is structured or connected neurologically, like electrical circuits that form through repeated experiences. It's not literal wires, but the built-in patterns that make us prefer familiarity and resist rewiring for new behaviors.
For example, my brain's wiring makes me a night owl. You might say years of practice change the wiring in a musician's brain. Another one, good parenting helps rewire a child's emotional wiring positively.
Fourth, dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in the brain that signals pleasure and reward. It motivates you to repeat behaviors, like sticking to routines, because it creates that satisfying hit of good feelings.
People say things like, social media is addictive because of the dopamine rush from likes. You can also hear, finishing a task gives a nice dopamine boost. Or, exercise triggers dopamine, which is why it becomes a habit over time.
Fifth, comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the psychological space where activities and experiences feel safe and familiar, with low anxiety. Stepping out requires effort because your brain prefers the ease of the known over risky unknowns.
For example, public speaking pushes me out of my comfort zone. Another way, staying in your comfort zone feels good short-term but limits growth. You might use it as traveling alone was scary but expanded my comfort zone.
Sixth, neural pathways. Neural pathways are the connections between brain cells strengthened by repetition, forming efficient routes for thoughts and actions, much like well-trodden paths in a forest that become highways with use.
Like daily reading builds strong neural pathways for vocabulary. Or bad habits create deep neural pathways that are hard to change. You can say, meditation rewires neural pathways for better focus.
Last one, resistance. Resistance here means the brain's natural opposition to change or disruption, a protective mechanism that makes new routines feel uncomfortable to preserve energy and safety.
For instance, I feel resistance every time I try a new diet. Another example, overcoming mental resistance is the first step to productivity. Or the body's resistance to exercise fades after a few weeks.
That was solid. Now, to make sure it all clicked, I've got a quick 4-question check. First one, based on our talk, what's the main reason the brain loves routine? A, it saves energy through predictability. B, it craves excitement. C, it hates all habits. D, it wants constant change.
Take a second if you need. The answer is A, it saves energy through predictability. That's because routines let the brain use autopilot instead of figuring everything out fresh, conserving mental power.
Good. Question 2. What does dopamine do in relation to routines? A, causes stress. B, signals pleasure and reward. C, builds resistance. D, weakens neural pathways.
The answer is B, signals pleasure and reward. It releases during familiar actions, making routines feel good and encouraging repetition.
Nice. Question 3. Which best defines comfort zone? A place of high risk. B, the space of safe, familiar activities. C, total chaos. D, endless novelty.
Pause if you need. Correct is B, the space of safe, familiar activities. It's where your brain feels low anxiety, so change feels tough.
Last one, pick all that apply. Which are benefits of routines for the brain? A, reduces stress through predictability. B, increases constant anxiety. C, releases dopamine steadily. D, builds efficient neural pathways.
The correct answers are A, C, and D. No B, routines cut anxiety with sameness, provide dopamine hits, and strengthen pathways for efficiency, not ramp up worry.
Fun checking that out. Makes the whole thing stick even more.
Yeah, loved exploring why our brains are like that. Catch you next time with more insights. Stay curious.